I said, you got to live it, to understand what a trust is. Like I said, I have a lot of Italian uncles, and I don't have a drop of Italian in me. And you learn real young in life, it's a family. And you don't say nothing to nobody. You keep your mouth shut. And I don't give a damn what the government tries to threaten you with. You open your mouth, you're going to have a lot more problems than any government could ever even imagine you could have with the government giving you 3 hots and a cot. You're going to have a lot more problems if you open your mouth. You think you're going to walk back out on that street? That ain't going to happen. You might as well just take your 3 hots and a cot and wait for somebody to come and get you out of there. You shut your mouth. So, I was trying to explain that to him. The best way I could explain it to him, like your mom and dad trust you, and you trust your mom and dad. And if you start running your lips to everybody who talks to you because you've got a freaking badge, your mom and dad are going to clam up. Your mom and dad aren't going to talk to you anymore. Your mom and dad aren't going to trust you with certain information. Your family is going to basically collapse because nobody's going to trust each other. And everybody's going to be afraid and say, well, they might threaten to put my son in jail if he doesn't cooperate. So, you know what, I just won't get my son involved with this anymore. I'll either hire strangers or do it all myself. Yeah, they're going to try to destroy his family business. No, that ain't going to happen. I tried to explain to his son. I said, look, that's my dad, and I have a trust relationship with my dad, and I trust him and he trusts me. And there's certain things I don't want him to tell about me, and there's certain things I'm not going to tell about him. And if you want me to talk about him, he's got to be sitting in this room with me right now. And if you want to question me, I'm going to run the question by him first. I'm going to say, Dad, do you want me to give him an answer to that, or you're not comfortable with me answering that? And I'm going to do what my dad says. And it's that simple. I said, the government knows it's unethical, immoral, and it's wrong to try to enter into a trust. They know it's wrong. I mean, they know it's not. It's the worst thing you can do. They try to break it down to trust. And they're going to try to do it anyway because they want to manipulate the situation for their own gains. And they will totally respect you if you explain it to them quite, succinctly that there's no way in the world you're going to breach this trust between me and that man over there. We have an agreement, we have a trust, and nobody's going to get between it. And I said to the kid, what's the worst that the government can do? They're going to say to you, well, if you don't cooperate with us, if you don't do this, if you don't do that, you hear them start with any of this, if you don't, right there, they're leading themselves right into a committing extortion. So just let them say, if you don't, if I don't, what? Go ahead, fill in the blank with any damn thing. Anything after if I don't, it's going to be considered extortion. Because they're not going to say, if you don't, we'll give you a ham sandwich. No, they're not going to say that. They're going to say, if you don't do it, we're going to put you in jail. If you don't do it, we're going to hold you in contempt of court. If you don't do it, we're going to do this to you. Really, you in particular, or we are going to do this to you? Who's going to do it to me? Bob is going to do this to me? Are you threatening me, Bob? Did you just tell me that if I don't do something, you're going to threaten me, Bob? You're going to stand there in front of everybody here in this grand jury who's going to bear witness that you just committed extortion? You realize where we're at, Bob? Do you realize you just committed extortion, Bob? Do you realize you just, threatened me in front of all these fine folks? You understand what you just did? Oh, well, this is a court proceeding. No, Bob. This, I don't care what you call it. You can call it whatever the hell you want to call it. Did you just threaten me? Did you just say if you don't do this, this is going to happen to me? This is going to happen to me. Oh, you're going to be in contempt of court. Whose court? Who's the man who's running this court? Whose court is this? I want to know the name of the man. No, not a judge, not an attorney. I want to know the name of the man who's running this court and who just threatened me. And I said to the kid, I tried to explain it to him. I'm probably forgetting about it now. I explained it to him as many different examples as I could give him, But it would have been a really good kid to have on this show and have me go back and forth with what I was doing with him to try to get him to understand where this trust relationship comes from. And everybody knows in the universe that there needs to be trust. Without trust, there's a total breakdown of society. So they're trying to have a total breakdown of your family and tell your family's business. I said, man, you basically tell them go pound salt and say it in a really nice way. I said, but they have no authority. They know that they can't do it. They know there's no way that they can force you to tell on your own people, your own family, your own kind. I guarantee there's all kinds of Geneva Convention rules about that. I guarantee there's all kinds of rules. And you can't waterboard somebody. You can't torture somebody. You can't make them tell, where your family's located, where your general is located, where your unit is located, where your troops are located. I'm sure there's all kinds of rules of engagement that you can't push somebody to get information out of them. You can't threaten them. You can't torture them. If they don't want to cooperate, I'm sure they can say, look, just take me to a holding cell. I'm a prisoner of war. and just let me be. Let me just do my time until the war's over. You know, I'm sure there's all kinds of ways that they even do that for wartime activity. You know, you can't waterboard, you can't do all this crazy shit.